make your presence known, right? Let the Core DJs know that this is something that you're interested in. And next thing you know, you could be part of the greatest DJ coalition out there.
You are now listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. The show is designed to help you grow your mobile app audience and get advice from experts in your industry. Now, here's your host, Sean Garvey.
What's going on, everybody? It is the architect himself, Sean Garvey. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. Now, if you are new to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, this is the program in which we highlight our most loyal and active clients currently using the BV mobile apps. So glad that you can join us. All right, on the phone lines with us is a great, amazing DJ. I know during these series I've been interviewing prolific, talented DJs over the past few weeks, but let me tell you about this DJ who I got on the phone lines with me right now. He is currently on 105.3 FM K-Jams in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is also on 95.7 The Boss in Omaha, Nebraska. And he's also on Sirius Radio Shade 45 on Friday nights at midnight, to be exact. And he got an event coming up on April 28th with some big names. We're going to talk about that in the podcast later on. But here he is on the phone lines with me right here on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. We got the one and only, and the name speaks for itself, ladies and gentlemen. We got DJ Detroit on the phone lines. What's going on, DJ Detroit? What it do?
What up, dog?
What up, though?
What's going on with you?
That's what I meant to say. What up, though? That's what a lot of people from Detroit say as their greeting. What up, though?
That's right, man. We've been saying it for years, way back in the 80s. What up, though? You hear it a lot now, but that's where it came from.
Exactly, man. But I like it. I like it a lot, man. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to me and the BB Mobile Apps Podcast listeners. So we got a lot of stuff to cover during this program. But I first want to ask you, how did you become a DJ?
By tearing up my daddy's equipment after hearing music, man. I mean, music has always been a part of me. I've always enjoyed it, and being raised in Detroit, that's Motown. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of artists, famous artists, old school artists come out of Detroit. So I was just always addicted to music and just wanted to play it, wanted to hear it. And back in school, there was this one DJ, man, where I graduated with. His name was Reggie Dokes. And I used to just kind of watch how he got down and how he did his thing and how people would respond to that. And I just, at day 4, man, I was like, I wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wanted to do that. And from that point, it was a wrap. And I've been with it ever since. Ever since, I've been with it.
Mm-hmm. Who are some of the DJs that came before you that you just got inspired by?
Famous DJs, man, to me is, first of all, DJ Jazzy Jeff, DJ Scratch, and DJ Kid Capri. Those 3 DJs right there, I kind of, honed my skills and kind of got my style from them. Kind of like a little bit of each DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like on famous records, I would always try to do the famous DJ Jazzy Jeff scratch, where him and Fresh Prince had their album, and then when DJ Scratch was with Kid Capri,
mm-hmm.
I mean when DJ Scratch was with EPMD, I'm sorry.
Right.
I would try to, mimic those scratches, and then, Kid Capri when he was on Def Comedy Jam and how he rocked the crowd, and then seeing him do it in person. That's who inspired me, man. Those famous people there, and I've just, ever since then, try to mimic some of the things that they do, and hopefully one day be successful, or just as successful as they are.
Now, a lot of DJs, they have very, very great equipment, but they have a lot of equipment also. You got DJs that do their thing off of turntables, they do their thing off of vinyl, and then, with the new technology, the new era that we're in right now as far as DJing, a lot of the new DJs, or even the ones that have been in the game for a minute, are using new innovative technology like your Serato and other types of equipment. What kind of equipment do you use when you go out and you party and you rock the crowd?
Well, currently I use my controller, a DJ controller, and it's interesting that you say that, because most of the time, man, DJing has come a long way. Okay, and when I first started, I remember I said, man, I started DJing tearing up my daddy's equipment. And then when I went into the military, I kind of got my own little money, and I eventually bought myself a pair of Technique 1200 turntables. Okay, that is the the equipment of the trade that you would need back in the day. But through evolution and technology and changes or whatever, then came Serato. So you didn't need to carry those heavy turntables no more, or even use those, the vinyl records. And speaking of, man, I probably got about 15,000 vinyl records in the basement still to this day.
Wow.
I'll probably never get rid of, you know? But it just evolved into something. So after the turntables, then came the CDJs. So you would take your CDs and play them in there.
Right.
And you use that. And Serato, I heard you mention Serato. Serato changed the game for everybody. And the reason that is, it gave access to anybody that was interested before in becoming a DJ. Because all you had to do now was just spin the MP3s. You hook up your laptop to Serato, and there you go. You don't have to carry all those records around anymore. It's great, man. It's really great, and I love it. And there's so many things that are actually coming about now. Okay, not only the controllers that a lot of DJs use now, but Pioneer and some other companies are even going back to the turntables and making those digital as well. But I've been in the game so long now, man. Carrying some of that stuff, man, your back got to be ready for that. And right now, my back is not ready for that. So just give me a controller, man, and my Serato and my laptop, and I'm good. And I can still rock it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. You know what? I still have my CDJs somewhere in the closet. I haven't touched them in such a long time, but I still got them in the closet, so I know exactly what you're saying. It's just amazing how the art of DJing has evolved over the years, from the vinyls to the kind of equipment that we have now. So it's just simply amazing. Right. Yeah. DJ Detroit.
And you know what? And I still have my turntables. Don't get it twisted now. Just because I'm using the controller now, every once in a while, man, I still take out my actually my turntables are set in my basement now, okay? So, and I still got vinyl, and I go down there just for the whole retro aspect, just to go back and, spin some of the 90s and the 80s and some of those records that I still have on vinyl. I still go back, and I still got my CDJs if I want to get that feel. So I still got, even though we have evolved into what we have now, I still take it back on. I still take it back.
So let me ask you this, and you brought up a good point. What advice do you give, or what do you want to give to our young listeners listening to the BV Mobile Apps podcast now, as they get into this industry or get into this professional type of world of DJing? Like, what kind of advice do you want to give to the listeners out there?
Man, I got a few points. First point, man, I would say is study. And when I say study, is study your craft, study different DJs. Look at some of the do's and the don'ts. Look, I mean, you want to arm yourself with as much knowledge about this craft before you really dig into it, because it may be something that you really love, or it may just be something that's a fad. Make sure it's not just a fad, because I've been doing this for a long time now, right? And my heart is into it. But sometimes you see DJs and their heart is not really into it. So make sure you study. Mm-hmm. Make sure your heart is really into it, and be consistent. If you start DJing, stick with it. It's not always going to be easy. Trust me, man. When I first started DJing, oh, man, you had a lot of roadblocks and a lot of hurdles to actually get over. How do I get into the club? How do I get this, this artist to give me a drop? Or,
Right.
It's just a bunch of things. You got to stay consistent with it. You got to practice, and practice. What was the famous quote from Allen Iverson? Practice. We talking about practice? Yeah. With DJing, you got to practice, man. You got to practice. So study, be consistent, and practice, man. Because the more you practice, the better you're going to become. And that's what that's even with seasoned DJs. You believe it or not, man, as well as I think I am as far as DJing, and I think I've honed my skills enough where I can, rock any party, any venue. I still practice. And you remember when we talked about earlier, like some of the DJs that that were your influences.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Scratch. I met DJ Scratch at a Core DJ retreat one time, and he told me, he says, man, all the stuff that I do, I still go home and practice. I still practice my routines just so I can be better. I don't just wait till I get to the club and play the song or whatever. I practice that before I even get out there.
Mm.
So when you getting into it, man, you need to practice for real, because it'll show. If you don't practice, you don't practice. If you don't practice, it will show. Trust me on this one.
Well, there you have it. There you go. DJ Detroit on the phone lines right here on the BB Mobile Apps Podcast with yours truly, Sean Garvey, the architect. Let's switch gears because this is called the BB Mobile Apps Podcast. And so for now, for the past year or so, you have been a loyal client to BB Mobile Apps. And talk to us about your experiences with BB Mobile Apps. How has it benefit you as a DJ?
I wish I had it a lot sooner. Okay, it's, to me, man, it's the perfect thing. I think every DJ, to be honest with you, should have their own app. And I was fortunate enough to discover the BV mobile app. First of all, economical as far as cost, as far as being able to maintain it and upgrade and make different changes to your app. You need to have that. As a DJ, you don't want to always have, one of the other guys out there that may have an app for you, and you got to send your information in to them, and they put it on your app and all that, and it's costing you an arm and a leg. Man, BB Mobile App's the best thing for DJs. Like, if you don't have it, something's wrong with you. Seriously. You know what I mean?
Right.
The cost and the customer service. Anytime I had like any issue which is, few and far between, it was just a phone call or email away. And the guys were always, all right, we'll take care of it. We'll help you out. We'll do whatever we need to do. And it make the process so simple. I think a lot of times people may kind of steer away from it because they think it's probably going to cost too much. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, a couple of drinks at the club, man, to pay for your mobile app for the month. I mean, it's just that inexpensive. But what you get from it is going to be so great, and it's going to enhance your business. I can't tell you the number of times that somebody said, well, let me get your information. You got any business cards? And I may not have any business cards. Well, you know what I do? I say, well, don't worry about it. Go download my app. And the first thing they say, you got an app? Man, I mean, that actually raises your stock level up a little bit, too, because they see how professional you are with what you do, okay?
Right.
So it's good to be a good DJ, but you also got to be good at marketing. You also got to be good to be able to market yourself. And having an app is one of those things that will help you market your brand even more. When I'm at a concert or a party, trust me, some of the things I may say is make sure you tip your bartenders, your wait staff, and all that. And I'm also saying make sure you go download the DJ Detroit app on iTunes and Google Play all night. I make sure they know. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Best thing since sliced bread, man. I love that app, for real.
Yeah.
I'm going to have it. As long as they're in business, I'll have that app.
Okay, so when our listeners go online and go on their phones and download the app, download your app, what can people expect when they download the app and it's on their phone? Boom. What can people expect from it?
Well, one of the things that they can expect is, first of all, they can see upcoming events. I have to make sure that I put that up there. Any upcoming events that I may have coming up, different photos from different events, because it's always good if a client is wanting to hire you and they want to see, okay, has he really rocked the concert? Does he really rock parties? Let me see what his app is about. And then also for the mixes, a lot of DJs, they're do their mixes, but nobody really has access to them. Only way you have access to them, you got to go download. Like I think a lot of DJs use Mixcloud now, or they may use SoundCloud or podcasts or whatever. What's great about the app, and when you get my app, I don't care what phone you got, what platform you have, there's a music player inside of the app. Okay? Mm-hmm. And mine is actually situated where it'll play in the background. So you don't even have to be on the app. You can go and do whatever else you want to do. And guess what? My mix is there. So anytime I DJ or do anything like on any of the stations that you mentioned earlier, mm-hmm. they can find out. As a matter of fact, I was on Shea 45 last Friday just passed, mm-hmm. and I need to upload that here within the next couple of days. People been asking, man, where's that mix at? I heard you when you was on Shea 45. I need that. Hey, go download the DJ Detroit app. There it is. It's on there. Okay, and it also give you the opportunity to stay in touch or keep in touch with me. So my email is on there if you ever wanted to get in contact. My Instagram and all my social medias, all of that stuff is there. So it's really a good way to keep in touch with me. Not only the mixes, but just to stay in touch. How many times have, people giving out a business card and somebody's like, do you have that information for, DJ such and such, whatever? Like, oh, man, I lost the business card. I don't know how to. With me, no, that app is going to be with you. What's something that somebody keeps on them pretty much 24/7? Cell phone. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That cell phone is going with them everywhere. That cell phone is going with them everywhere. I don't care if it's Android. I don't care if it's iPhone. It's going with them. And guess what? That DJ Detroit is going with them everywhere. So, it's really a no-brainer for me, and I like that my customers or that my clients always have access to me when they need me as well.
So you pretty much answered the next question I was going to ask you, like, why should someone download your app and listen to it now? Yeah. But it's self-explanatory because in the technology age that we're living in right now, it's very beneficial to have an app on your phone and listen to a DJ Detroit as opposed to passing a business card or if you forget to bring your business card, boom, here you go. Here, download my app right now. Because somebody can take your business card and use it as a coaster or something.
Exactly. You are right, man. Yeah. You are right. I mean, it's all about that branding, though. You know what I'm saying? It's all about branding yourself, but then it's also about giving access to your listeners or access to your customers. Because guess what? Everybody's not on Instagram, and those people that are on Instagram may not be on Facebook, and vice versa, or they may not be on Snap or whatever it is. But if you got that app, hey, we're all together. It's universal then, and those mixes go with you. And what's good about it as well, with my app, you can save the mixes to the phone. So a lot of times, everything right now is streaming, even with Spotify, with Apple Music, with Tidal. Everything is streaming platforms. People really don't go out and buy hard copies anymore, or even download the hard copies on their phones anymore. Typically, everything is streaming now. Well, the same thing with my app. You can stream all of the mixes, but you can also save those mixes to your phone. So let's say you're traveling and you got to put your phone in airplane mode. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I want to rock one of DJ Detroit mixes, and I don't have the internet connection, but guess what I did before I left? I saved it to the phone. I saved it as a favorite. So there you go. Technology is something, man. It's great, ain't it?
Facts. DJ Detroit on the BV mobile apps with yours truly, Sean Garvey. We only have a few minutes left right here on the BV mobile apps podcast, and I understand that you got something coming up on April the 28th, and it's a
Yeah.
red carpet soul jam featuring a lot of great names that are on the roster. Talk to us about
Yeah.
that. Who are some of the people you're going to be performing alongside or next to at the event?
Well, the artist, man, we got Maya. I know y'all know Maya. Maya's beautiful still.
Of course,
And
yeah.
still putting in work. As well as Drew Hill. Drew Hill is going to be on the bill. And we also got Genuine will be in the building. Man, that's going to be a great concert, man, because, I mean, there's nothing like that 90s feel. You know what I mean? That old school hip-hop and R&B. We're bringing that back. And it's a big package. So, if any of those are your favorite artists or all of those are your favorite artists, come on down and check us out with that. And it's going to be the Core DJs. We're the ones that's actually doing it so I'm doing it along with DJ3, as a matter of fact, the vice president of the Core DJs, and then our other partner here, DJ Cadence. So 3 different vibes, 3 different feels, and 3 different DJ styles. And we're going to bring it to everybody, man. When Maya hits the stand and when Drew Hill gets it and Genuine get to going, oh, man. We got some for the ladies and the fellas as well. You know what I mean?
Right. April 28th, it is going down. And I like the names that were mentioned. I grew up on these artists, so I know it's going to be an off-the-hook event, and everybody's looking forward to it. So, DJ Detroit, man, we got this thing, before we close out, we got this thing called Fun Facts, in which we let the listeners know a little bit about their favorite talent right here on BV Mobile Apps Podcast. And what I want to do is take a moment to let people know some fun facts about you, all right? Is that okay, DJ Detroit? Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, so I understand that you have a daughter and she graduated from high school last year, so that must have made you a very proud father, a very proud parent.
Yeah, man, just you saying it, man, just had to stick my chest out a little bit. Yes, she did. She just graduated, and she's going to University of California, Irvine, UCI. Like, I didn't even understand the whole UC system, University of California, Irvine, Berkeley, UCLA. But she's going to Irvine, and right now she's a pre-med major, future doctor. How about that?
Now, that's what I'm talking about, black girl magic at its best.
How about that? That's right.
Yeah.
Look, especially during March, man. Especially during March. This is Women's Month, so
yeah,
I'm proud of her.
Gotta give credit. Gotta give credit when credit is due. And you are also a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Talk to us a little bit about that.
The Omega Psi Phi fraternity incorporated. Yeah, man, I'm a Q. One of the greatest fraternities. Matter of fact, the greatest fraternity out there. The first black fraternity founded at HBCU at Howard University, November 17, 1911. And I enjoy the bros, man. I enjoy the fraternity. We do a lot in the community, and that's one of the biggest things. I know, people see us out there having fun and doing the, hopping and doing those things, but I'm actively involved with it. Okay, I mean, we feed the hungry, we clothe the needy. We always give back to the community. One of our mottos is lifting. Implied motto is lifting as we climb. And you can get to a certain point in your life, but what good is it, man, if you don't reach back into the community and help others that may not be at that level yet, or help them get to a certain level? So the fraternity, man, not only the brotherhood, but it gives me a lot of opportunities to give back to the community, man, and that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? That's what it's. I like to give back with my music and entertaining listeners, but then when I'm around my frat brothers and we're putting in service and we're putting in that work, man, there's no greater feeling. I'm telling you, son, there's no greater feeling in the world, especially when I'm wearing that purple and gold. I mean,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I got to go back for just a quick second and acknowledge your son as well. He graduated from Northern Illinois University last year. So so this is what I'm talking about. A proud father. Yep.
Yeah, hey, you know what? He graduated with honors too, man. He graduated with honors from the program that my daughter is just getting into. Yeah. So he graduated pre-med as well, and he's working with the University of Chicago right now. So yeah, got to give a big up to him. And then my oldest daughter in San Antonio, she graduated a while ago, and she's married to my son-in-law. I got to shout him out. He's matter of fact, he's a part of the fraternity as well. I actually signed his letter of recommendation, 2017. Anthony and Joy. Yeah. So I got 3 beautiful kids, man.
Talk about fun facts right here on BV Mobile Apps Podcast.
There you go.
And one other thing too, because we're running out of time. You are also a member of the Core DJs, and I want to put that out there. It's very important because we have a lot of DJs that are listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
So how can DJs be a part of the Core DJs?
Well, it's really a referral on a referral basis. First of all, if you're putting in work, think about some of those things that I said initially in the interview. All right, I said practice, right? I said consistency, and continue to do those things. There will be a core DJ in your area. Link up with that core DJ. Let them know who you are. Network with that person. And come to different events that the core DJs may have. You know, sometimes we have at least one core DJ retreat a year, but a lot of times we have 2. There's going to be South by Southwest coming up, and the core DJs are going to be doing a lot of events there. Make your presence known, right? Let the core DJs know that this is something that you're interested in, and next thing you know, you could be part of, the greatest DJ coalition out there. And not only are we just a coalition of DJs, man, we're a family. And once you get in, I'm telling you, man, it's a great feeling to know that you can count on one of your DJ brothers to take care of you, your DJ brothers or your DJ sisters, because we got both, right? And our women, I mean, they get down just as good and better than some of the guys out there. So yeah, just let yourself be known, man. Network with some of the core DJs that may be in your area, and come to the events. And once we see that you're putting in that work and you breaking records, hey, next thing you know, you can have core DJ in front of your name as well.
All right, there you go, DJ Detroit. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling into the BB Mobile Apps Podcast. And really quick, where can people follow you? How can they get in contact with you? And how can they download your app?
Easily download my app, man. You can go to, if you have an iPhone, go to the App Store and just look for DJ Detroit, just like it sounds, DJ space Detroit. And the same thing with Google Play. I don't have an Android phone, but I've seen individuals do it before. So go to Google Play, wherever you download your apps there, and the same thing. You can't miss it. We talked about my fraternity, Purple and Gold. Once you see that Purple and Gold DJ Detroit, there you go. And then outside of that app, go to the website, djdetroit.com, and it's going to take you directly to my Facebook DJ page, but it just kind of works out, 2 birds with 1 stone. And you can find me on all social medias. I don't care if that's Instagram, what's the other ones out there? Snapchat,
Facebook, Twitter,
whatever. Yeah, Facebook, Periscope, Core DJ Detroit. If you put that in there, at Core DJ Detroit, it's gonna pop up. Shout out to Tony Nielsen, founder of the Core DJs. But yeah, that's how you can get in touch with me.
That's what it is. All right, DJ Detroit right here on the BB Mobile Apps Podcast with yours truly, Sean Garvey. And you can also check him out weekends, weekdays, or every week on 105.3 FM K-Jams in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as well as on Sirius Satellite Radio, Shade 45 on Fridays at midnight, and 95.7 in Omaha, Nebraska. All the information is on his website and on his app. I'm Sean Garvey with the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, and make sure you email us and let us know your feedback. Let us know how you are liking the show, and if you have any questions, email us podcast@bvmobileapps.com, and all the other information is on the website bvmobileapps.com. I look forward to talking to you next time. Until then, have a great week, great weekend, and we will talk to you all soon. Peace.
It's a new year, it's a new day. We're starting it over, starting the day.
Thank you for listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with your host, Sean Garvey. For more information about BV Mobile Apps, visit the website, bvmobileapps.com. Don't forget to follow BV Mobile Apps on social media at BV Mobile Apps. Tune in again next time on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast.